Welcome beautiful people of the world to another top 10. In today's video I count down my top 10 home invasion movies, but I don't do it alone. Today I have the help of fellow Australian and fellow film enthusiast Connor from The Media Man. Links to his YouTube channel and various social media will be posted in the description box below, so be sure to check him out and subscribe and follow if you like his content. But for now, let's kick off this list. At number 10 is Ils. Ils, also known as Them, is a 2006 French-Romanian horror film directed and written by David Moreau and Xavier Palud. Lucas and Clementine live peacefully in their isolated country house, but one night they wake up to strange noises. They're not alone, and a group of hooded assailants begin to terrorize them throughout the night. While Ils is not one of the best films in the genre, it does execute it rather well until the story moves outside the home and we learn who is behind the torment. Everything before this, however, that leads it to be classified as a home invasion film is done really well, with you definitely feeling the characters' panic and unease while appreciating their proactive attempts to remove themselves from the situation. Number 9, The Ref. The Ref, also known as Hostile Hostages, is a 1994 American black comedy film directed by Ted DeMay and written by Richard LaGravenase and Mary Weiss. In this film, a cat burglar is forced to take bickering, dysfunctional family hostage on Christmas Eve. This film is very therapeutic for me, and I'm sure it is for others. It reminds me of my family Christmases, and probably many people's Christmases, where fights occur or where you bite your tongue around certain members but you really just want to tell them what you really think for once. I never saw this as a black comedy, just as a comedy. I mean, it never gets that dark, there seems to be a constant air of levity about the film, and I love that a hostage situation brings everyone together. Not to mention, the dialogue in this film cracks me up. I tell you, there are a lot of gold nuggets to be found in this movie, and I love watching it every Christmas.
You know what, Mom? You know what I'm gonna get you next Christmas? A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Number 8, The Purge. The Purge is a 2013 American action horror thriller film that spawned 3 sequels and a television series. There is 2013's The Purge, 2014's The Purge Anarchy, 2016's The Purge Election Year, and 2018's The First Purge, and 2018's The Purge TV series. The film is directed and written by James DeMonico and sees members of a family finding themselves endangered by a gang of murderers during the annual Purge, a night during which all crime, even murder, is temporarily legal. The Purge is a terrific concept that, given the current state of the United States, one could entirely believe this becoming a real thing, which makes it all the more intense. It's the perfect depiction of the genre, and I love how the slow build doubles as a countdown until the violence commences. Admittedly, if I could participate in the Purge, department stores and banks better watch out.
Hi, my name is Connor from The Media Man, and coming in at number 7 on this list is Hush. This film, directed by Mike Flanagan and also written by him and the main actress Kate Siegel, it chronicles a deaf woman who is in her house one day when she is beset upon by a psychopath intent on killing her. This film is really great. It shows the disadvantages of having no hearing in a scenario like this, and it makes it so much more satisfying when she starts to overcome her attacker. The acting on all sides is really great, and I think the directing is really on point. Mike Flanagan is an amazing director. Really tense, really well acted, and a really satisfying conclusion. Hush really deserves the spot on this list.
Number 6, Panic Room. Panic Room is a 2002 American thriller film directed by David Fincher and written by David Coep. It sees a divorced woman and her diabetic daughter take refuge in their newly purchased house's panic room when 3 men break in searching for a missing fortune. While it has been a great many years since I've seen this, I still believe this film shows the only performance of Kristen Stewart's I think I enjoy. Another great concept that turns the one thing designed to protect you as being the one thing putting you in danger. And Jodie Foster does a terrific job of playing a mother who will do everything in her power to protect herself and her daughter. Number 5, When a Stranger Calls. When a Stranger Calls is a 2006 American horror film directed by Simon West and written by Jake Wade Wall. A remake of the 1979 film of the same name, this version follows a babysitter who starts to receive threatening phone calls from an unidentified stranger. While there are plenty of cons, you can't deny this is a good home invasion film, and one that uses a line that has become quite iconic since its original use. While I wish we had learned more about the killer and his motives, I love how this film depicts someone young in a foreign setting being slowly terrorized and slowly realizing just how much danger she really is in, and the character actively tries to figure out and stop the situation through every stage of the movie. It's terrifying to think you're safe inside when the danger has been in there with you all along.
Stop calling me, you
Listen to me. We traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. You hear me? It's coming from inside the house.
Number 4, The Strangers. The Strangers is a 2008 American horror film directed and written by Brian Bertino that later spawned a 2018 sequel, The Strangers Prey at Night. In this film, Kristen and James are expecting a relaxing weekend at a family vacation home, but their stay turns out to be anything but peaceful as 3 masked intruders leave the couple fighting for survival. What makes this film such a perfect representation of the home invasion genre is that the violence is limited to the end of the film. For the entire film, it is about the psychological terror that is being inflicted on the couple. Do they leave? Do they stay? Do they fight back? Do they hide? As the film goes on, the fear the couple experiences just continues to grow, and it is palpable, making it a worthy addition to this list. Can't say the same about the sequel though. Number 3, Home Alone. Home Alone is a 1990 American Christmas comedy film directed by Chris Columbus and written by John Hughes. It spawned a 5-film total franchise with a very successful sequel and 3 far from successful sequels. The franchise consists of 1990's Home Alone, 1992's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, 1997's Home Alone 3, 2002's Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, and 2012's Home Alone The Holiday Heist. In this film, Kevin McAllister, an 8-year-old boy who is mistakenly left behind when his family flies to Paris for their Christmas vacation. Kevin initially relishes being home alone, but soon has to contend with 2 burglars. Who says a home invasion can't be hilarious? A classic Christmas movie that shows a young child getting the best of 2 dim-witted criminals and in a highly festive manner. This entire film screams Christmas and brings the laughs at every turn. While highly unrealistic, you have to appreciate that this kid was smarter and fought back harder than most adults in home invasion horror movies, so you have to commend him for that. Number 2, Funny Games. Funny Games is a 1997 Austrian psychological thriller film directed and written by Michael Haneke that in 2007 was given an identical American remake also by Haneke. Both films involve 2 young men who hold a family hostage and torture them with sadistic games. While this and its remake are identical in every single way minus the actors, it's amazing how different the performances make them feel, with the original being far superior in my book. Unlike many psychological films that focus more on the gore than the psychology, this goes as far into psychological torment as it can. From the moment it begins, we the audience know the villains are messing with this family mentally, even though they are unaware of it, and it spells impending doom. The fourth wall breaks are a terrific touch because it's as if the film is addressing the voyeuristic nature of horror films, an absolutely terrific film that nails the execution at every point. And at number 1, The Collector. The Collector is a 2009 American horror film directed by Marcus Dunstan and written by Dunstan and Patrick Melton. Originally titled The Midnight Man and intended to act as a prequel to the Saw franchise that was later scrapped, this film sees an ex-con desperate to repay his wife's loan shark debt, so he plots a heist at his new employer's country home, unaware that a second criminal has also targeted the property and rigged it with a series of deadly traps. It had a less successful sequel in 2012 titled The Collection. This film is not just a damn near perfect home invasion film, but a perfect representation of cat and mouse with a nice twist. The twist being that the cat doesn't realize there is a mouse to chase, and the mouse is fully aware of the cat and the maze it finds itself trapped in. I love how intelligent the lead character is. Very few characters in horrors or thrillers have this level of intelligence. What gives it such a great edge is its very limited dialogue. The entire film relies heavily on a silent performance and clever use of camera work, and together they do the job perfectly and create an incredible tense environment. If only the sequel had been this good. And that's it for today's top 10. A special thank you to Connor for collabing with me on this one. Links to his page will be posted in the description box below, so be sure to check him out. Also be sure to comment down below and share your top 10 home invasion movies. Until next time, lock your doors.